Alright, well, I was jamming to my music, and I know we never shot a video of us cleaning out the weeds in here. And weeds is anything that's not your food. When it comes to food, weeds aren't just your traditional weeds. Weeds are any green that is not your food. And so, we visited my family the other day, and it's good to see that my great uncle, my grandmother's brothers, his oldest son, still enjoys, um, still enjoys farming. Although be it he's not doing it like my great uncle. My great uncle, my grandmother's brother, they grew up on the farm, and so they were, what do they call them? Sharecroppers. My grandmother grew up as a sharecropper. So, him telling me some of those stories made me realize why at 8 years old, my grandmother had me trying to do some farm work, and we were living in the city, and I just did not enjoy it at all. I could not get into it. I hated it, actually. I used to run away from home until very late. Used to get whooped by a switch. Seemed like every day, because I did not enjoy doing farm work. My grandmother used to always try to make me do it, and I hated it. But here it is. After my grandmother passed, she just passed away, and we started this farm after my grandmother passed away. So how ironic is that? What my grandmother tried to teach me, I didn't latch on to. I ran away from, and then after she passed away, here I am doing exactly what she was trying to show me how to do. And I just see the irony in that. But along with going over there and seeing my family doing this, now here's what I want to tell people, what I discovered over there. Okay, so my family lives in a place called Pike County. And where they live at is, truly a black community. And the tract of land that my great uncle used to work was about a 20 to 30 acre tract. When we visited, when me and my wife visited over there, we asked his son, which I make contact with while I'm over there, because he stays in my great uncle's home, and so that's who I see. And when I go over there, we be right, baby. We be outside on his little patch of farm he got. Every time I go over there,
Yeah.
we go straight to his patch, and I gotta tell you, it does feel good to go to over there and watch him work. Watch how he does his crops. And we learned a few things while we were over there too. So when I go over there, I pay attention, because he been around it. He been around his father doing it. His father doing it his whole life. So he knows more than us. So I go over there, and we go out there, and I pay attention to some of his techniques, and I go learn what I can from him to add on to what I already know. But the 20 or 30 acre tract that my great uncle worked, we found out that he didn't ever own it. He didn't own it. It's right behind his house. He don't he don't own it. So I asked him, why you don't pick it up and do what he was doing? Because he was doing he was doing 20 acres. Why you just doing this little bitty patch up here, which is about a half acre, and I say little compared to that big huge field back there. I was like, why you don't do it? And he said he doing just enough to feed, my great uncle's wife, um, some of the sisters, his wife, stuff like that. Just immediate family. He's not doing it like he did it. what we learned is, man, that land, it's not being used anymore. And, albeit, it belongs to the city, and the city don't use it, you know, and they never gave all these years, say probably about 40 or 50 years, the city never made trouble about it being used by my great uncle. They never even had a complaint about it or nothing. He's been growing on that land. I'm thinking it's his the whole time. It ain't his. He just been growing on it. And so with that being said, and look around in your city. If there's a 20-acre tract in Pike County that anybody could just use and go grow on. And here's the thing, I asked him, why you don't put some of these young men on, like he ain't growing back there no more. Why don't you get you ain't trying to, do no farming business. You ain't trying to do it. My great uncle has some very good equipment. My goodness, we went over there. He got some of everything over there, and it's really just sitting. It's just really sitting in the shed because they can't take that big equipment out to do it on a half an acre. The equipment too big. It need big boy space, to fit in there, and it's too big to work on half an acre. So it's just sitting in there, and he told me, the young man and the young men in the community don't want nothing to do with it. They don't, they don't want nothing to do with farming or nothing like that. Not even just farming. They don't want nothing to do with anything outdoors, pretty much. So, and they in the real life. They in the real, where they live at. It's a full-fledged black community. Only black people live in that community. And you just like the young men don't want to do it. And I said, if they only knew the value of that land it's so much of it, and the city ain't got nothing going on with it. Something about it, the way they got the poles set up in there, they can't really. It's an area that can't really be sold. Oh, I think I did good about that. It's an area that can't really be sold, so it's just one of those unsellable tracts, a land really don't have no use to it. The city ain't gonna see no value in it or nothing. Anybody can just go over there and grow. One thing he did say is, if it's unattended, them deer's gonna eat everything that you grow over there. The deer's gonna eat up, because in between the tracks on both sides is woods, and it's a pretty massive, it's a pretty big area, right, baby? Pretty big. So you can imagine that. Yeah, the deer's gonna be popping out of there, and they gonna be eating everything you grow. So it's gotta be where somebody can come tend to it, And me and my wife, we were like, man, maybe we should come do it, but cost effectiveness, it wouldn't be cost effective for us. One, because we don't have the equipment, and two, we don't have the equipment to work that land, and two, we don't have the labor hours to invest into it. So since we don't have the labor hours to invest into that land, and since we don't have the manpower, we don't have the right equipment to work that size of a land, and since it's so far away, if we were gonna try to work that tract of land, we would spend damn near 2 hours a day in travel time, 1 hour up there, 1 hour back. So as far as our operation, it wouldn't work out for us. One, like I said, there's real bad deer problem up there. They got a lot of deers that be on that track, because nobody really goes back there. Nobody, like, you would think you would see a wide open plot land and people be attracted to it. But just think about your life out there. You watching this video. Think about your life. You see wide open land every day. You ain't gonna stop and go mess with it or go see what's up with it. But one, you don't want to walk it. That's one. Don't nobody want to walk that, man. Not unless you're trying to get some money out the land. And most people don't think about land as being money. So, you know, nobody is gonna go back there. So it's sitting right there in the black community, not being used, but could really and seriously, if somebody worked it, could change. Yeah, I seen the bees over here coming and getting at it the other day. I said, good job, little bees. Come get at it. It needs you. Now, the reason. Yeah, there's a bee on it. Look, get it in there. The bee in there, sucking it, getting it. Good job, little bee. That's why I told my wife she had to stop. She had to get rid of her thing she had, her little hatred she had for bees and stuff.
Hatred. I just don't
or whatever.
like
Where
them.
she run and get to screaming every time she see one. These bees ain't studying you. We need these bees for the food. If we gonna be able to sell food, hey, we gotta have bees. And since we don't have our own beehive, we need some of these bees to come over here.
Did that one come out?
What? Nah, that's fine. It's fine. Just lay it down a little bit. Ain't you? Since we not beekeepers or whatever, we need just random bees to come over here and come get down and dirty with the food. Now, it's been a few times my wife came over here and she did a little weeding out of here. I thank her very much, but she was doing it the hard way. I told her about that. She was like, no, I just want to get on the ground. So
no, at first you told me that's how we were doing it. Then when you seen, so it goes to the SD card.
Okay. Well, she was like, no, I just want to get on the ground. So this is the best way to do it right here. Yeah. You get in there, it eats up the weeds pretty doggone good. Now, one thing I did was I talked a lot of junk about my wife and her rows and stuff like that, because all her rows are crooked. But one thing she do better than me, I'm so like, I want to make sure we have enough food that I plant on these little bitty baby rows. And my little bitty baby rows, it be so tight you can't really get in there the way you want to get weeds like this. You can't do like this. At least in my wife's row, even though they be crooked, she made sure to have a lot of space in between her rows. And now, while I'm up in here, I'm like, good job, baby. But before I was like, oh man, I was like, you ain't planting the food in the rows close enough. We only got a little bit of space for the food. We gotta maximize our space.
It was worse than that.
Whatever. Whatever.
It was worse than that. Just imagine profanity.
Profanity? My goodness. You profane little thing. Yeah, but now, walking through here, it's like, it's a good thing that there's space in between here, because there's room to walk and actually get this stuff up out of here, because the grass, grass, weeds, all that stuff attracts bugs. They'll come to the grass first, and then they'll end up eating all your crops along with it. So, you know, all that green attracts bugs. So it's good. That's why it's good to clean that stuff out and keep your roads nice and clean. Which I'm glad we decided to do a video showing us cleaning the roads. So if you're out there and you need to, if you never cleaned a row, you know, it's always good to have a visual of somebody else doing it, so you can say, hey, that's okay, that's how I need to do that. Okay, now I know how to do it. Because that's all it really takes. I mean, what I found in this is nothing is really too hard when you're doing this. It's just time. That's what really this is all about. This is all about time. You just have to have the time to do it. I mean, somebody else might find it to be a hard job, especially if you're not an outdoors person. you never really been an outside type of person, you're an indoor type of person, then maybe, yeah, maybe you won't like this very much. But if you used to being outside, then you should be able to latch on pretty quickly and pretty easily and really
That
get.
one, that one's a weed.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're an outdoors person, you should be able to latch on to this really quickly and really easily and get the meat and potato out of it. Mainly the number one thing about this is to get outside and actually do it. And the more that you actually do it, the more everything in this starts to make sense. So the more time you spend out here cultivating the land, the practices you use begin to make more sense. So, over time, everything that you do out here becomes more natural. I just hope that, if you've never been exposed to this, you've never been around anybody. Look, this one's starting to form the food right here. Oh, it's a damn weed. Attach yourself to my. It's starting to form the little food balls.
Mm-hmm.
This one getting ready to go, you guys. Soon some food gonna be on that one. It's starting to form the little squash balls. The little squash balls starting to come in that one. Definitely got to get the weeds away from it because the weeds was wrapping itself around my food.
Mm-hmm.
But so if you've never been exposed to this at all, that's what this video is for, to give you your first exposure. Now, what you do after you watch the video, that's on you. You can start with some GMO seeds from Walmart, because Walmart generally got just GMO seeds. So if you're not ready to fully commit and go with a seed company and start buying your seeds in bulk, you just want to buy a few seeds to test it out and see if it's something you can get into, Go pick you up a little bag of seeds from Walmart, plant them in the ground. Make sure it's food though. Make sure it's something that at the end, when it finishes growing, it's gonna be something that you can put in your stomach. You don't want to plant something. First time ever planting something, the first thing you plant is something you can't even put in your, something you can't even eat.
Mm-hmm.
I understand planting something for decorative stuff, but if you're gonna plant something for decoration, then you should be planting something to eat along with that. That's just my advice. I'm gonna leave. That's my advice. I just killed some Swiss chard, I think, over here. But that's just my advice. If you're gonna plant you something you can eat. Especially if you just testing and trying it out. You just trying things out, seeing how it'll go. Definitely put you some food in the ground. So at the end of your experiment, your reward for your experiment is some food. So you got a few things going over here. Being careful when I step back. Because you ain't just growing enough for ourselves to eat, We got what people gonna be putting in their mouth over here. We got that food. We got food that we didn't expect to grow. Starting to grow. I don't know what the hell this is, but it's something good.
No, look, that's that over there.
What is it?
Those trees.
Oh, this ain't food?
Mm-mm.
That's weed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Look how big these weeds grew up to be. I know that's a weed right there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Look how big these weeds gotta be. We thought these were food. You sure that ain't food? That lets you know right there. I don't know everything about growing. I think this is food. I think my wife going crazy over there.
Well, we'll see.
We will see.
But this right here, I don't think is food.
That's definitely not food.
That looks poisonous.
It ain't poisonous, but it ain't no food. I know it ain't food because I seen it growing over there. When you watch these videos, don't think we know everything now. We don't know everything. We definitely don't know everything. But we are learning as we go along too. So understand, like you know what I'm saying? We we're new farmers. You growing along with us. You know, in order, neither did I or my wife make the disclaimer that we know everything. But what we do, don't step on the food.
Oh no.
What we do, you know, what we don't know. You know, I'm going and getting certification for food and knowing the different crops. You know, I've been in classes. I learned a lot of stuff from these classes. I learned different pests to look out for. I've learned good growing standards, and I've also learned some stuff, some growing practices that I don't like and I'm not gonna use. You know, but that's all up to the individual. It ain't up to them. You know, they teach you the stuff. You use it or you don't use it. That's it. Me, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's some kind of food or not. So I'm killing it. You know, some of the stuff that I didn't like, they would, you know, and not to say that I didn't pay attention to stuff that I didn't like, because even the stuff that I didn't like, I paid attention to. But the stuff that I didn't like, I won't use in my practice. I'm not with this whole all these sprays and all that stuff. I ain't down with all that. That's just not my G code. You know, one, cause the same food I'm growing from the same supply. Dang, I just killed.
No, you didn't. They're not growing.
Yeah, I just killed one though. But you know, the same place where I'm selling the food at, that's the same food I'm eating. We learn a lot of farmers, you know, they grow food and use these bad practices or whatever, and then they'll turn around and come buy my food or come buy a smaller farm food. You know, they grow food by the hundreds of acres. You know, hundreds of acres, they growing food, but they will not eat their own food. They won't eat it. You know, and some of the guys who work up there, you know, that are you know, teaching the classes, they like that too. They'll let you know they grow their food this type of way, and they don't eat it. You know, they growing it for you, the one who like to go to the grocery store and get their food all the time, but they won't eat that stuff. The same, they grow their food. I think that's a shame. You grow food and you not willing to eat it. That let you know something wrong. If you ain't willing to eat your own food, I would never want to be like this, because I know first and foremost, everything that's growing in here, you know, this is subsidized my food costs before I even take some of this food, before I take food to the market and all that. You know, I gotta have food to put in my stomach. So why would I put poison on what I'm growing out here? Why would I do that? Knowing I gotta eat this, my wife gotta eat this. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a different case if, you know what I'm saying, we wasn't gonna eat the food. Maybe if I wasn't gonna eat the food, maybe I'd be a jerk and be spraying pesticides all in your food, and you don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about that life, you know, because you're not a grower. So you don't know about these pesticides and these chemicals and these, you know, GMO foods that they putting in the store. You know, you don't know why your 8-year-old son got breasts bigger than yours. You know what I'm saying? What, what baby? What?
8-year-old son got bigger breasts than the mother.
Yeah, they don't know why. Yeah, you know, they don't know these things. They don't know why your little boy acting super feminine. You know what I'm saying? Because of that food and all that stuff they be playing with your food. All that stuff they be playing with your food. You know what I'm saying? But that's something we ain't gonna do later on for the people who can't make it out to our produce stand. You know, and come out here and support by getting some of the food. We'll put up a little something where you can make a donation. You know, donate to us, so you know we can expand this business and offer more more to people and do different things. One thing I would like to say, and one thing that I'm proud of, you know, is we putting food out there for not just, people who can, afford to shop like that. Because I'm going to be honest, our food might not be as cheap as, Walmart, Look what we doing. We out here, putting in the work like this, We might have to charge a little bit more for our food. And that's just a reality. But, one thing we got going on to compensate for the fact that we might have to charge a little bit more for our food is that we went ahead and enrolled where we're going to be accepting EBT, and we're going to be accepting food vouchers. And that make it so even if the price is just a little bit more, you can use your subsidized food to your subsidized food benefits, to come get some of this good food. Because everybody should be entitled to good food. I don't care who you are or where you come from. You could be living on an island somewhere in the middle of Sarat, But you deserve access to clean water and good food. That's something that's being guaranteed to every human being born on this earth, You got different things going on in the world, but man, that's two things that every human being is supposed to have. Clean water and uncontaminated food, And unfortunately, as human beings, people who live out in remote places in the world, we've destroyed, I say we, but, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have the finances or the resources or the know-how to put down these big facilities that kill the water supply. I can't do that, and I don't know anybody else who has the capability of doing that. I don't know anybody who has the capability of doing that. I don't know. But when I say we, I mean somebody else. Somebody else,
You're at 15 minutes, babe.
Yeah, so.
But this video is going to be a whole lot longer because it kept cutting off.
Well, it's good information we putting out there, so I think it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all right. People get to choose. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, ALA Top Farms, with an S. Come holler at us. We update daily, We like to be open and transparent about what we got going on out here, because we doing things the right way. And we doing things the old school way. Now I gotta tell you, the new school way of doing this, what will happen is there'll be a line of GMO food out here. It'll be fake food all in the ground. And what'll happen is they'll come up and they'll have it, the food will be Roundup ready. That's what they call it. They call it Roundup ready. They'll come through, they'll spray all this, and everything will die except for the food. The food will stay alive, but everything else will die. But as you see with us, we do things the old school way. We come out here, we beat these weeds back by hand. We can plant real food out here, because the difference between, GMO food and real food is if we came out here and we started spraying Roundup all on this food will die. All of this will die. Our food will die, because it's not, it's not a modified organism, it's real. So if you come out here trying to spray all that stuff on this anyway, it's real sensitive stuff, because it's real food. So if we came out here, man, all this food will be dead. So, since we chose to go natural, we got to come out here and beat it by hand. But you know what? I don't mind doing it, because, it makes for a peaceful work day, When I come out and go to work every day, I don't have the stress that other people have when they go to work every day. I come out and go to work, I throw on my old school R&B. I like that stuff from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, And I throw on my old school R&B, and I be out here beating it. Now I gotta get this cleaned out. Now you see how bad this look. Now this is the difference between me planting something and my wife planting something. I'm thinking like a capitalistic pig. Look how close I got these. I got these rows so close, you can't even walk in between them. Here you go. This is what you can get right here. Ooh, be careful, you might step on something. It's so close, it's hard to get the weeds up out of there. But, I'm thinking about, hey, we got to plant enough so we can you know, get to the chippers. But it's all good. I'm gonna work my way and clean this out. Row by row, one little row by one. I'm gonna be real careful while I'm in there. But you know, I got on my wife real bad about how she was planting them seeds. But now, as you can see, this row was planted by me. You can't get in there. Here go another one planted by me. I planted 4 more. You can't get in there. They just starting to come up. But as you can already see before they come up there, you can only get 1 foot in each side. And here go my wife. You can walk all clean up in there, clean it out nice and good. Got a nice space, you know. Then you come over here, you see these
That's gonna
rows
be just like.
gonna be all compacted, just like them rows over there. Hey guys, I hope y'all got some good information. I hope y'all got some good knowledge. I hope, you know, you can take the practices what you just saw us doing, cleaning out, you know, these beautiful rows of food. And I'll tell you, these rows of food, when you get up on them, you actually out here and working them, they are very beautiful to see that food growing like that. You know, I mean, you can't, man, people go on vacation to feel good about themselves or whatever the situation may be. But out here, you don't have to go on vacation and have an experience. All you gotta do is wake up and come get close to your food, you know. And with that being said, I should have did like my wife did while I was all cussing her out about how we ain't gonna have enough food. You done made them rolls so big. Ain't gonna be, but it's gonna still be enough food. On the other hand, now with my little tight compacted rolls, it's hard to get the weeds up out of there. All right, guys, we're gonna have to holler at y'all later. I hope somebody leave a comment. You know, if you ain't got the time to leave a comment, subscribe to our channel. I ain't too much worried about likes, because I understand that, like, just like with our smart TV, when you're using a smart TV, you can't really like the videos. It don't give you the option to like the videos as you're watching them. But you know, if you get a second, you know, if you on your phone or whatever, you pass through this or whatever, and leave us a comment. And let us know what you think or what you would like to see out here from the farm. You know, or what you would like to see us discuss out here. You know, if you say, hey, well, how do you feel about this? We're making a video about how we feel about things. And with that being said, and I'm gonna holler at y'all next video. I'm about to go to
Batmobile.
the no TOP holding it down.